What's good, Cowboy fans? It's your boy Uncle Fred. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. It's pre-Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving morning, actually. Happy Thanksgiving to all that's watching and will be watching my video today. I want to wish happy Thanksgiving from the family, from the Uncle Fred family. Wishing you and yours a happy Thanksgiving. And if you like me, and I hope we just don't turn any of you off. If you do, that's fine. But I'm thankful to the God Almighty for giving me everything that I have, everything that I was, everything that I am, and everything that I will be. And I'm thankful for. Thankful for everything that's around me. Friends, family, those that are right. And I've learned to appreciate everything, every person and everything that's around me. I've learned to be appreciative, appreciative even for the things I've come short on because it helps me go forward and be better. So I'm hoping that you will find some time today to be thankful for whatever. Just find something to be thankful for. It's never as bad as you think it is. So we're talking about that today. Of course, the games tomorrow, well, later today. And I got some thoughts about that. Then we're going to talk about this leadership thing again, as this reared its head again, as we're going to talk about that as it relates to another team and some decisions that another team has made because leadership or lack thereof. And something like how I was talking about a couple of weeks ago about our lack of leadership in a certain thing after the Green Bay game. We're gonna talk about that, and then this game today is probably gonna be tagged the Odell Bowl and all the things that go around with that, and I'm going to kind of explain how I'm really not a fan of that whole thing and all that's the trappings with that. Of course, if we can get him, that's fine. If it fits within our structure and our parameters and our culture, get him. And if not, then we'll just roll. But and then of course I'm gonna pick the game and we're gonna see what happens. But happy Thanksgiving from Uncle Fred. Buckle your seat belts, everybody. It's go time. What's good, people? Once again, happy Thanksgiving to all. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and part of the you will not be disappointed. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Again, Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Day games tomorrow. Today, if you want to look at it, we're playing the Giants. Now, remember a couple of right? I think it's like maybe this Tuesday, maybe after the Green Bay game, and I mentioned to you about leadership, and I kind of was laying it on Dak Prescott because he called out or in the press conference said that CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz ran the wrong routes, and how I was like that I don't like that kind of thing because when you're the quarterback, when you're the guy, when you're the person at the top of the pyramid, people are expecting leadership from you and expecting a certain message to be communicated down from you, and everybody kind of follows. Okay, and I didn't like that message. Now, Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb might have ran the wrong routes, but that's not for you to say in a press conference. That's for you to say when you pull them to the side and y'all get him and Kellen Moore get that together. Okay, but in front of everybody else, yeah, I'm gonna take the heat for that. Okay. Now I'm saying that because there was a development going on with the New York Jets, and remember that the New York Jets played a game this past Sunday where they played the New England Patriots. The game was 10-3, and it really was 3-3 for most of the game. And then the guy ran the kickoff back with like 5 seconds left and for a touchdown. And they went to Zach Wilson, who is the quarterback for the team, the second round draft pick out from 2001 out of BYU, supposed to be like the guy, second pick out of the draft. Okay. And they asked him a question like he was a mammal, like he breathed air. Okay. Look, your team, your defense gave up 3 points all game, and you guys weren't able to score for three. You kind of feel like the offense kind of let them down. He said no. And they kind of rephrased it another way, and he said no, absolutely not. And he left, cut it short and left. Now a lot of people was looking at that because it's like y'all scored 3 points. And let me give you the depravity of their offense. Okay. Now, this guy, Zach Wilson, completed 9 of 22 passes for 77 yards and an interception. In the second half, that offense netted 2 yards in the second half. Didn't cross midfield in the second half. Didn't advance beyond the 37-yard line in the second half. I don't even think they got a first down. I think they punted and went 3 and out on 5 consecutive drives. Okay. I think they may have had one first down or something like that. Okay, but the net, when you have loss of yards plays, that gets taken away from the yards. But they netted 2 yards in the second half, and the defense held New England to 3 points, and they got a punt return late in the game, whatever, and that's a special team thing. But the question was asked: did you think that your offense let the defense down? Because if you give up 3 points, that's supposed to be a win, right? He said no. Nobody let nobody down. Now, that same question, I'm reading here, Wilson's comment stand in stark contrast to Zach Wilson, because we're talking about the other Wilson, the Wilson that's the receiver. His name is Garrett Wilson. Now, he said he was asked the same question, and we'll see what he said. But this is what Zach said. He was asked at the podium following Sunday's putrid output if his play let the defense down, which allowed just 3 points. No, the quarterback responded. No. Okay, cool. A tale of two Wilsons, because Garrett Wilson, the receiver, when asked about this, he says, this SHI was sorry. We're out there looking sorry. And we know we're not sorry, and it really hurts because we're better than what we showed. That's why it hurts so bad. Okay. And then he said this, and then the coach said this was dog food or whatever. And then when it was brought to his attention how many yards they had in the second half, he said, how many? He said, and it, like 2 yards. He said, oh, no, that's not never going to do. Wide receiver had enough gumption to own it. No, we look like ish out there. Okay. Quarterback, who's supposed to take the arrows and protect everybody, said, no, we don't owe no apology to the defense. I was at 2 yards in the second. And so they got me to thinking about what I was talking about with Dak. And so we see, and then at first they asked Robert Saleh, who's the coach, would there be anything coming from that? And he said, no, we're gonna stay the course and whatnot. But after getting feedback from his locker room, and when you hear this from these comments from Garrett Wilson, he goes on to say uh, that let's call it like it is. We got to be better in the passing game. We want to be where we want to be. We know we can be there. So that's the most frustrating part. We don't have to be in games like this. We didn't even score on offense, and we lost the game. They didn't even score on offense, and we lost the game. Me personally, I think we have to take it for what it is. We got our, what's beat out there on offense, and the results showed. Okay, he went on to say, you know, so I guess when the coach started talking to the players like, nah, man, this dude, he not exhibiting the type of leadership we like. And then so we got the message on yesterday. Uh, Zach Wilson will not be starting Sunday when they play against the Bears. As a matter of fact, he won't even be dressing that game. They're going with Mike White, and probably backup will be Joe Flacco. It's to show you leadership matters. What does that mean to us as Cowboys? Okay, That's the Jets. They got nothing to do with it. Leadership matters. Now, for us, now I started thinking about the game on Sunday, and I started thinking, after a couple of days, I'm letting that thing marinate, in my mind and stuff. Talking to some people, some other Cowboy fans. I got a cousin live out in Los Angeles. What's up, B? I know he watches my rants and stuff. And I started thinking, man, that was the perfect game we played. It was a perfect game. Now, and I think, and I've been watching the Cowboys for 45 years. I went back and thought about it. Go all the way back 1977, Super Bowl 12, maybe 11. I'm thinking 1977 versus the Broncos is where I fell in love with the Cowboys. And watched a lot of games in that time. Didn't have a full understanding, but I know, but I gained at that time. When I got into high school, I got more and more, and then get to where I am now. So this is the most perfect game that I've seen the Cowboys play since I've been watching the Cowboys play. Now we played games that have more significance. Certainly, we had games we played in the Super Bowl, but they weren't games played with this much dominance on both sides of the ball. Let me give you the tail of the tape on that. So we had 459 yards of offense. Okay, we punted twice. Okay? We scored on 8 possessions out of 10. Punted twice. No turnovers. That was 22 or 25. I think I can remember the 3 that he missed. He missed Dalton Schultz in the end zone on the first drive. He didn't really miss him. He just dropped it. Michael Gallup, he short-armed one on a comeback on Michael Gallup. I'm trying to remember what the third one was. There was a third incompletion somewhere, and I can't remember what it was, but he was 22 or 25. Uh, we we had a 37-point win on the road, which is the most the Cowboys have ever had in the 61-year history of the Cowboys, 62-year history of the Cowboys. Never had a 37-point home road win. Okay, they held the Minnesota Vikings to 183 yards. You hold a team under 250 yards. That's a good defensive game. Even under 300, that's a good defensive game. They 183 yards, which includes 103 yards passing by um, Kirk Cousins, 72 yards, 79 yards rushing, uh, 70 yards rushing, 71 yards rushing by them. So 183 yards total. They were 1 of 11 on third down. Okay. So for the most part, everything we tried to do worked. Every offensive play we tried worked. We stumbled and fell. We still got 5 yards. Uh, every defensive signal we called, every blitz we called worked. Every twist we called worked. Every run stunt we called worked. Everything worked. Okay? And so they talked to Jerry after the game. Now, what I was hoping, but I knew better because I just know, sometimes he just can't help himself. I was hoping. Your boy was hoping. I was hoping he would say something profound. After that game and understanding how that game went, everything went perfect for us in that game. And I'm gonna tell you the significance of how that is in our day-to-day life, how that works. But and they asked Jerry after the game about what he thought about the game and what does that mean going forward. This is what your owner said. He says, I think we've had some adversity. We had, Dak's been out for 5 games and that sort of thing. We had some other injuries, offensive line, stuff like that. So he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I think we've had some adversity. We very easily could have some more adversity. Yes, I think if we use the experience that we're having in this season, then we're going to be playoff ready. Here comes the kicker. But I sure do think that what I see out there right now is the team like that you could go get a Super Bowl with. Now you might be thinking, Fred, that's a good thing. He's saying that's a Super Bowl team. That's what you want. You want your owner to be a supporter. I'm like, no, no, Jerry. I'm like, Jerry, no, 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 and no. That's not what you want. And man, last thing you want is to be throwing, blowing roses and cherry blossoms. Okay, this is what he should have said. He's like, man, didn't they look good today, man? I mean, that was almost flawless, man. That was a great game we played today, man. That was a great day, man. And boy, that Mike is something else, ain't he? But look, man, we got a short week. We got the Giants coming in here this week. They're on a short week, and they probably a little hot under the collar because they lost a tough one today, and they're gonna come in here ready to try to beat us, and we got to be ready for that. But yeah, we'll take this win today, and it's a good win, and I'm proud of my boys of what they did today. But there's more work to be done, and but come see me in a couple of weeks. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what my team's, what we're gonna do in a couple of weeks. But didn't they look good today? That's what he should have said. Problem is that don't get you clicks. That don't get you the first thing on Skip and Shannon's Undisputed, or on ESPN's First Take. That don't get you on there. Okay, that don't get you on Speak. That don't get you on Colin Cowherd. That don't get you on there if you say that, because that's a vanilla answer. See, Jerry got to spice up because he's trying to get clicks. See, problem with that is that when you do that, it does something to the locker room. Because see, when Jimmy was around, he wouldn't let you get involved with how his team was preparing. Because look, no, 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 we're gonna prepare like we prepare. You know, and I don't even want you even, you know, uh, broaching that kind of thing around my boys while we're preparing, because he knows that once you start getting guys looking ahead, looking at them, and they'll forget about what's right in front of them. See, that's why when Jimmy was there, that kind of stuff wouldn't happen. Jerry and Jimmy, the promotion and the production stayed in two different things. It was in two different lanes. They weren't commingling. Okay. As soon as he ran Jimmy off, now he hired coaches that were amenable to Jerry's, his whims and what he wanted to have happen. See? Let me explain to you how this thing works. Now, see, the Giants are going to come in here on today, and let's not get this thing twisted. Brian Daboll is a darn good coach. Wink Martindale is a darn good coach. That's the same team that they had last year. What did they go 4-13? They're 7-3 right now. Probably going to be in the playoffs with essentially the same team. But that tell you that the coaching is a lot better. Okay? And let's be honest. I'm just going to be straight up with you. Now I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell you what it really is. Brian Daboll is a better coach than Mike McCarthy is right now. Okay? But not for why you think it is. He's a better coach because he is allowed to put his stamp of approval or his temperature on that team. Mike McCarthy isn't allowed to put his stamp of approval or set the temperature for his team. Okay. Because that team was 4-13 last year, and obviously something changed for them to be what they are this year. Andy Downs got like 3 interceptions all season. He had like 15 of them last year. The coaching change is different. He's allowed to turn and change the thermostat in the room, and the players bought in. And how do I know that? Because they got players on that team that are good players that didn't quite buy into Brian Daboll's system. They don't play. Kenny Golladay can't get on the field because apparently he hasn't bought in. All right. Kadarius Toney never bought in, never was playing. Always some nagging injury, some seemed to be playing for the Chiefs. He didn't buy in. He was allowed to set the temperature. Mike McCarthy isn't allowed to set the temperature. So you got one coach who's allowed to come in, adjust the temperature, and get to build the team exactly how he wants. Then the other coach comes to the building. He has to wait for Jerry to tell him what to set the temperature at. That's the difference. Because Jerry sets the temperature, that means it affects the players. The players get the whiff of, oh, he think we won a Super Bowl. Man, we good. Let me tell you what the Cowboys did Sunday. What the Cowboys did Sunday is akin to you getting up, going to work, and it's like you and I do. I go to work every day. This is not what I do all day. I could sit here and talk Cowboys all day if they pay me for it. I can do it. And it would be entertaining too. I can do it. But I got a job that I go to. Okay? So let's say, for instance, this particular day you hit your alarm clock and hit it one time too many. You leave for the office 5 minutes late. Going to work. But you pull out of your subdivision onto the main street. Nobody comes. Pull out and you go. Traffic just moving along. You just buzzing along and going to work. There's like 5 intersections you come in, and son of a gun, every one of them you catch a green light. You never have to break your momentum. Okay. You get all the way to the office. And I don't know if you work like I do, but you got a badge. You got a badge to get in. You get to the thing, and it's sometimes a line for people getting in. They all getting in at the same time. You got to wait to get in. You wait for that person in. You get to the thing and working on the door, and the door's open. Everybody can just go in. You just walk around, and you there 5 minutes early, even though you left 5 minutes late. Everything you tried to do that day worked in your favor. Now, if you ain't careful, you'll be thinking every day you could get up 5 minutes late and you'll get the same result. But no, the next day you might get up 5 minutes earlier or 10 minutes early, the train will stop. Or three of them five lights will catch you red and you have to wait. Okay. Or when you get there, there's a line at the door or something going on, in the parking lot, or you leave something, you leave something in the car and got to go back. There's all kind of things that could go wrong. So what you should have said, what you think was, "Woo, I got a break this time. I got to be better next time. I get up a little early, but I got a break today." So with that in mind, that's what Jerry should have said. Yeah, man, we played a good game. Then we got them Giants coming today, this week on a short week, and we need to be ready for them. But there was a good win today, but we got to be better because that resonates in the locker room. See, Jerry's got to promote. Okay? He's got to, and let me say this before I get the NFL would not be what it is right now without Jerry Jones. Okay? I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna give him his flowers because he promotes the league just like he promotes the Cowboys. Okay? The NFL in Los Angeles would not be there if it was not for Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones went to bat for Stan Kroenke and I can't remember what the owner's name. The Spanos, I think, is the family that owns the Chargers. When they moved from San Diego to Los Angeles, he was all for that because that's the second biggest market in the United States and like the fourth biggest market in the world. How could they not have a football team? And he went to bat for them, so he promotes the league. And he would have had to have been a league promoter to promote the salary cap and the even the 50-50-50 split of the TV money, even though he's generating more of the money than anybody else is. And the salary cap, everybody gets to spend the same amount of money. So that's how much he wants the entire league to succeed. So Jerry Jones is a godsend to this league. And I don't think the league gives him the dap for that because that's why he gets the calls, he gets in the games and stuff like that. We'll get on that later. But Jerry has a penchant for like wanting to put way too much emphasis on the promotion and not enough on the production. Or he'll allow the promotion to intermingle with the production where the emphasis ain't on the production as it should be. They asked Chidobe Awuzie, who used to be our cornerback up until last year, and he moved. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. He exercised his right to free agency. And he went to Cincinnati last year. Of course, they went to the Super Bowl. And they asked him, "What's the difference between playing for the Cowboys and playing for the Bengals?" He said, "Well, here, all about football. It's all about football. It's all about watching film, all about being coached up, all about being prepared, all about watching film, going over game plans and all that kind of stuff. all that stuff. There's no elephant standing on a bar stool, over there, and there's no, lion tiger thing over there. No, it's just about because Mike Brown ain't about to spend no money on no promotion. He's about the cheapest owner there is. It's all about them. They don't even have an outdoor. They don't even have an indoor practice facility. The only up north team without an indoor practice facility because he's not spending that money. Okay? A lot of people thought it was a shame that they went to the Super Bowl. Cause like he ain't not gonna pay none of them people. They gonna get them. We play them a couple of years. And he's gonna be too cheap to pay them. Or Joe Burrow gonna have to take a hometown discount or something. But, but it's all about the football. So all the other extracurricular stuff don't matter. You see, Jerry's all about the extracurricular. And that sometimes makes it where the team don't perform as well as it should because the emphasis ain't on the game planning and ain't on the strategies of the game. It's on the pageantry of the game. Okay? So with that being said, he's talking all this Super Bowl thing. That's got me thinking that probably, and like I said, I don't like the production and the promotion being put together. Just like in a hospital, you don't want the bean counters and the chemists together because the bean counters are try to limit them as to what they can do based on how much money is in the reservoir. No, you want them guys to keep coming up with cures and medical miracles and stuff in their study. You don't want them having to be weighed down by that. And even in our church settings, because I'm do things in the church and we have our sayings and stuff like when we talking about the magnificence and the specificity of God. We talk about when we pray. We talk about how God is so specific. When you ask him for this thing, he gives you that thing. He don't mix it up. If you was to ask him for bread and I was to ask him for water, your bread wouldn't be soggy, and my water wouldn't have crumbs in it because it's kept separate. So I don't want my production and promotion being merged together. I want them separate. But Jerry insists on them being together. So that's why sometimes the team is not as good as it should be. And you look at a team like the New England Patriots, who do none of that stuff. And because when you talk to Bill Belichick, you don't talk to Robert Kraft. You talk to Bill Belichick, he gives you nothing at the press conference. He gives you no sound bites. He gives you nothing. It's all in Cincinnati. All he, and all he's done in the last 20 years is go to like 8 or 9 AFC championship games and uh, 10 Super Bowls and 9 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. Six of them. All right. 9 of them and won 6 of them in 20 years. But we, with all our pomp and circumstance, haven't been to an NFC championship game in 27 years. And in all the pomp and circumstance, yeah, the Cowboys are worth 8.4 billion. Patriots are worth 6.5 billion. Just saying. Just saying. Sometimes less is more. And what the Patriots found out is that if your team is good, it'll sell itself. Good. You don't have to make stories up about them. Good. Folks will make up stories about you. If you're good, put all your eggs in the production in the production and the strategy and the coaching and the game planning and all that stuff, and just let the stuff fall how it fall. And if you good every year. Now, what does that mean for tomorrow's game or today's game? See, I think you got guys. Thank God for guys like Dak Prescott, who I gave him the business last week. But Dak Prescott is a good leader. He's a good leader. He just had a bad moment. Sometimes you can have bad moments. That don't mean you're a bad leader because you have a bad moment. He had a bad moment. Michael Parsons is a leader. Michael Parsons was ticked off after that Green Bay game. He said, "Oh no, that will never happen again. That will never happen again." Because they have to compensate for what Jerry does. So Jerry's writing checks. So they got to scramble and write to be able to cash them checks that Jerry's trying to cash. And really, they wish Jerry would be quiet so they could just concentrate on their stuff. No, they got to cash checks for Jerry. Okay? So because of that, I think this game is going to be a barn burner tomorrow. Okay, so I think here's what I think. I think the Giants going to come in focused. I think they're going to come in determined. I think Brian Dayball and Wink Martin, they're going to have a plan. They're going to get us on a couple of plays. They're going to stuff us on a couple of our offensive plays. Some of our things we're gonna think they worked well last week ain't gonna work as well. And I think they're gonna jump out on us, and we're gonna have to scramble and come back. And I think we're gonna get a last second field goal late in the game. Pull it out. We'll win by the skin of our teeth. I think we're gonna win that thing 27. But because I think Dak and Micah are gonna figure it out. It's like, no, we look, time is now. We gotta get this thing handled. We not we're not gonna let this we're not gonna let this beat us. Okay? We're gonna win this game because the talent is what it is. Now I had a chance to look at the injury report. We got some guys out. Giants got a ton of guys out. Okay. So I mean, talent can only get you so far, but the more talented team, if you just go, because I mean they got the Giants got Bellinger, that promising tight end, he's out. Adoree Jackson, that corner is out. I think Richie James, that wide receiver, I think he's limited. Evan Neal is limited. Andrew Thomas, I think maybe one or two of those tackles might not be there. Um, now for us, Anthony Barr is not playing. Terrell Basham, I don't think he's going to play. We had a rash of illnesses at Cowboy Ranch. I don't know what's going on with that. Dante Fowler, Jonathan Hankins, Kelvin Joseph, DeMarcus Lawrence has also got a foot issue. Uh, um, Donovan Wilson, a bunch of guys with illnesses. I don't know if it's the flu. I ain't nobody said it was CV-19 because it's a whole different protocol for that. It's going to be a game time decision on some of them guys. So we're going to be some guys, but the Giants are down even more guys than we are. So they're not even going to be able to field like a competent team. Really, it's basically going to be on guile and barbed wire and duct tape and good coaching. Sometimes you can overcome some stuff for a period, but over time, talent will win out. So that's why I got us winning 27-24 late. And that's why I think it's going to be close. Because I think we're going to come in fat catting because Jerry done getting gassed us up. And it's going to be hard for the players to kind of get the other players that, no, Jerry already said we good, man. What you work? No. We need to calm the heck down and just pay attention to our details. Okay? And the game is turning out to be what? The Odell Bowl. So whoever wins this game is going to be in the front seat or inside position, track position for Odell Beckham. And look, I'm gonna say this. Throughout most of his career, I really had not been the biggest Odell Beckham fan because I thought he was more sizzled than the steak. Yeah, he made that nice catch in 2014, but they lost the game. And there's always a lot of extra stuff with him that I really don't care for. I don't like a lot of, I don't like a lot of pomp and circumstance. I just like put your head down, play football. Okay? If you score a touchdown, you ain't got to do a whole bunch of line dances stuff. Hand the ball to the ref like Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. You ain't do no crazy stuff. Hand the ball to the ref like you act like you've been there before. All right. But he is a talented guy, very talented. Okay? And I do realize people mature when they get older. Okay? And I saw what he did for the Rams last year. Okay? He'd been Super Bowl MVP had he not got hurt in the second quarter on that non-contact thing he spilled at half at midfield, or whatever. So I think we could use him because I think we could lose a little bit of juice in our back in our wide out room because I don't know what happened with James Washington. I keep hearing they keep pushing the thing further back. So I'm like, okay, we might not even gonna have him this year. So yeah, let's get Odell if he's going. We gotta get him right. See, I don't like this. Well, we happen to do a song and dance for him. Is there anything else we can get for you, sir? No, I don't like being acquiescent to people. Look, man, we got an opportunity for you to come and play for us, play for the Cowboys, with this on your helmet. And that's an opportunity for you to play in meaningful games. What do you say? Let's go. And then after the game, he said, man, y'all went crazy because they was tweeting him and D-Law and him and Michael was tweeting back and forth. And Dak's been talking to him. He tweeted with to D-Law. D-Law said, "Yeah, man, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? Yeah, we went crazy. Yeah, what you gonna do? Make sure you make the right choice." And and they said the same thing that when Michael was like, "So, what you gonna do then?" You know, because it's like, hey, we here, come through, pull up, as young folks like to say, pull up, we here, pull up. And so it's been reported he wants a 20 per year deal. Dude, you wasn't getting 20 million when you were in your heyday. You ain't finna get 20 million on three ACL. So after three ACL surgery, you just turned 30. You get about 6 million a year for 3 years. 3 years, 18 million. That's a sizable amount. That's about as much as Michael Gallup is getting, and he's like 24. And you coming off of an injury, we don't know. We might not even get the best of you until next year. Okay. So no, we're not giving you no 20 million a year. What, a 3 year, $60 million contract? Really? You really no. I will be out on that if they decide to do that. No, we gotta sign CD, we gotta sign Trayvon, we gotta sign Micah in 2 years. Dude, Micah finna get the farm. All right. So yeah, we'll take him, but we're not upsetting our apple cart for him. We'll get him. We can fit you right on in here. We're not going to give you $2 million a year, nothing, nothing like that. But I said we can give him 6, 7 million a year, 2, 3 years. We can do that for him, and just see where it goes, and then we can put some incentives in there if he play X amount of games. Yeah, we definitely do that. I think he would give our wide receiver room. But no, man, I ain't for this Odell Bowl or this kind of stuff. Like we pumping and circumstancing for him, like we dancing for him, dancing for the king or something. No, man, no, we got an opening here, and we got a chance to get on this train and we roll this thing rolling. You can go with the Giants if you want to. Y'all will be home after the first week of the playoff. We got bigger sights. And your owner already said that we're going to the Super Bowl. But anyway, we'll see what happens when it happens, or when it happens, or how it happens, or whatever. But Cowboys winning them all. Here, looking ahead, let me tell you why this game. Why I really wished that Jerry would have honed it in on him uh, about this particular game, and so we can kind of you know this is the thing. The Odell sweepstakes. How much you know we won't be campaigning for him and stuff like that. Like I said, we're gonna get the best of him the next year. Uh, but anyhow, here's the thing. This is what we're looking for. This is why I wish Jerry would have, you know, stay keep the guys grinding. We can somehow grind out a wins tomorrow. We should know what we got coming up. 10 days off. That means all these guys is hurt. Your Bars, your Donovan Wilsons, your Hankins, all them guys, DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah, all them guys and get healed up. Then we get, what we got? We get Indianapolis at AT&T. Then we get the Houston Texans at AT&T. And the next week we go to Jacksonville. So in 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, I'll be sitting on 11-3. That's why this game we needed to be like, no, let's stay on this because it could very well be. And then after Jacksonville, we played on Christmas Eve. We played that we got a short week, sort of. We played 6 days because it's Saturday. Christmas Eve is on Saturday. And Christmas on Sunday. We played the Philadelphia Eagles. It could very well be that the Eagles might have one more loss before then. If we win that game, we could be in sole first place in the AFC East, the NFC East. I'm sorry, in the NFC East. Gotta grind these few games out. We can get past the Giants. We can just get past them. Colts, Texans, Jaguars. And we get our last home game against the Eagles. And the next 2 games gonna be doozy. We go to Tennessee, big physical team. Then we go to Washington. That's our season. 4 weeks from now. 11-3. 11-3. That sounds real good right about now. That's why now we so happen to win tomorrow's game going away and they prove Uncle Fred wrong. I will come out tomorrow and say, hey, I was wrong. Boys is right. He was right. Our team's ready. We can just hold on for these next 2, 3 games. It's 11-3, man. This season could be special, barring an unforeseen injury. You know, Texans game. I'm hearing on that December 10th game against the Texans. I'm hearing Tyron Smith is going to be back. Yeah. Hey man, this season will be just as good as we want it. We grind out, man. We can end up being, I don't know, we could be 14-3 or 13-4 or something like that and be real special. Or we can get fat catted and think we better than we are and end up being 11-6 and be a 6 seed and be out in the first round. As good as we make it. But I got Cowboys winning 27-24. And like I said before, man, happy Thanksgiving from the family of Uncle Fred, man. Be thankful, hug on, love on your family, man. And, you never know how much time you got left, how much time they got left, man. Yes, I lost my mom and dad a few years ago. Or what I wouldn't give to have them right here next to me now. They're not. So love on your family, man. Love on them this Thanksgiving, and let's go Cowboys. Let's get us a win tomorrow. Okay. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. As I always say, I guarantee you, unequivocally, you will not be disappointed. That's all I got. God bless. See you guys tomorrow evening, hopefully with a Cowboys win.